All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 20th, 2024. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, 514.35. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY and Diamond Dow made bullish engulfing moves, closing above the bullish traps over the rising 17 EMAs. Still in uptrends. QQQ still in a downtrend, made a lower high and a lower low while closing over the bearish trap and over the flat 17 EMA. FNGU also still in a downtrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing above the bearish trap and over the flat 17 EMA. IWM still in a downtrend, made a lower high and a lower low while closing under the bearish trap and under the flat 17 EMA. GLD and SLV in uptrends made lower highs and lower lows while closing inside the bullish traps but over the rising 17 EMAs. USO in an uptrend made a higher high and a higher low, closing above the bullish trap and a rising 17 EMA. UNG still in a downtrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing above the bullish trap but below the 17 EMA. US dollar index in a downtrend has retraced its bearish move, closing the daily candle above the flat 200 SMA. So let's go take a look at some charts. First chart, SPY daily candle. You can see the bullish engulfing. Got a lower low and a higher high, completely engulfing the previous day's candle, closing over the bullish trap and over the rising 17 EMA. So there's SPY. For the pivot, you can see the majority of the price action came back to this area right here, 514.35. So if we break below that, I want to be a bear. If we stay above it, I'm going to be a bull. So there's SPY. I think that was close to my pivot from yesterday. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. We'll go back to the daily chart. Actually, we'll look at the 2-hour chart one time. So you see we now have a bullish cross on the 2-hour chart. 3 crossing up over the 8. We're looking for a 10-minute uptrend. We currently left off yesterday with a 10-minute uptrend. So all we need to see is green wipe out red, and that would give us permission to jump into an SPY calls long. That's what we're looking for this morning. So there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, QQQ on the daily chart. Lower high, lower low, closing above a bearish trap and over the 17 EMA. QQQ in a downtrend, making a lower low right here. So we had a low, and a low, and we made a lower low three days ago. So that put QQQ in a downtrend. There's the daily chart for QQQ. And you can see we've got a move on the downside right there. Let's take a look at FNGU. So here's FNGU. Also in a downtrend right through here. Okay, making lower lows. 1, 2, 3 lower lows here. Excuse me. For the daily candle, we had a lower high and a lower low, closing over the bullish trap and over the flat 17 EMA. So there's FNGU. Let's see what we got on Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow does a almost, let me see what the low here is. The low is 48. The low here is 47. So Diamond Dow does a bullish engulfing move, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA for Diamond Dow. Small caps and mid caps. IWM. Got a lower high and a lower low, closing below a bearish trap and below a curling 17 EMA right there. So Small caps, mid caps having a pullback right now. So there's IWM. Let's take a look at our technicals. See what we come up with there. So we'll start off with T2122. And you'll see right here we made higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and higher highs. We left off running out of the buyer's chop zone into the buy zone for T2122, and then after the afternoon hour we just kind of sold off, closing inside the buy zone. That's still very bullish right there. And for T2123, here's our move up yesterday. Move up. We had a sell off in the morning, and then the bulls took over for the rest of the day, closing strong up over this base right here, T2123, right there on the 15-minute chart. And on the 3-bar chart, we got some space reopening right over here between our 17 EMA on the 3-bar chart, and you can see space between the price action and the 17 EMA that's still rising. For FNGU, FNGU had a sell-off in the morning, big gap down, and the bulls took over right after the big gap down, closing strong at the end of the day, right over the base, challenging a prior high up there. Actually, not challenging a prior high, but closing up above this base up here. So, nice work there. I'm looking at this in the pre-market. So, there's FNGU. All right, let's go back to our charts. And we'll take a look at energy. So we'll start off with USO, petroleum crude oil. Petroleum crude oil putting in a topping wick candle. All right, higher low, higher high. That looks like a top for a short time anyways. USO, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over a rising 17 EMA. Almost looks like some of the precious metals charts. Okay, let's take a look at UNG, then we'll go visit the precious metals. UNG in a downtrend because we broke this low right here. So we are in a downtrend. Ever since we broke that low, we've been moving up, making most of these candles higher lows throughout this, ever since breaking this low right here, making UNG back in a downtrend. So for yesterday's price action, higher high, higher low, closing up between the bearish trap, closing between the bearish trap and a falling 17 EMA. Still in a downtrend, UNG. Okay, let's take a look at silver. Silver for yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing inside the bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. Silver in an uptrend, very bullish. Let's take a look at GLD. GLD, yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, but closing inside the bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. So you can see us consolidating right through here, right on top of 199. So things looking good right there. And let's take a look at, let's go down and take a look at our US dollar, if I can get that up for us. And we'll detach this, move it over. So here's the US dollar. Okay, you can see price action it's in a downtrend, and you can see price action challenging these wicks up here on the daily chart. If they break over these wicks, it will void the downtrend and place US dollar back into an uptrend right there. So almost there. You can see here's price action retracing back up towards this area. So we're in a downtrend because we made a lower high and a lower low, but you can see that lower high is being challenged right here today. All right, so here's the 3 moving averages. We've got the 200s, the blue line. This gold line is the 50, and the orange line is the 100. All 3 converged over here. That makes this the rubber band candle. So we'll see where they're going to stretch that rubber band today to see if it snaps back to the 200 or if they continue on and break up over this. So there's the US dollar index. Let's start off with our economic calendar. And you'll see today we have an FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. and then a little presser at 2:30. For the morning, we don't have much reports for this morning, just a petroleum report at 10:30. And we've got some reports coming in tomorrow morning. Jobless claims, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, current account consensus, PMI composite flash, and existing home sales, leading indicators, and a natural gas report. So busy day tomorrow morning. This afternoon we have a busy afternoon. Let's go take a look at the earnings calendar. And that's not the one I wanted. And there we go with the earnings. All right, for earnings, March 20th, PDD Holdings going to report this morning. Micron Technology, $103 billion. They're going to report this evening. For tomorrow, we got Accenture. They're going to report in the morning, $252 billion. And then Nike's going to report in the evening, $151 billion. And for Friday, we have a pretty much a very light day, non-eventful. Nothing really market moving there. For Max Payne, let's take a look for Max Payne. And I don't think that's the one I want, but we'll see which one it is. You know what? That's the one. Max Payne for today, 514. Pretty much right where my pivot is. So Max Payne for today, 514. All right, I'm going to take questions in the room. And then I'm going to render my video. So if I have any questions. Yes, I know my charts are set up in, my monitors are set up in portrait form. I got a new graphics card. I'm trying something new. I don't know if I like it or not, but we'll see what happens today. All that matters is if I trade better, right? So we'll see. So we'll see what happens, all right? So probably change it back tonight, all right? Because it involves a lot of turning stuff off and turning stuff back on. So we'll see what happens, all right? So I'll take questions. If not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video.